Hello everyone, and welcome to our third and final live show for DBS this semester. My name is Liz, I'm definitely not hungover, and I'll be one of your hosts this afternoon.
And my name is Julia. I definitely had time to sleep last night, and I'll be your host this afternoon. Unlike our previous two live shows, we have plans to keep it short, to not keep it short.
Yes, when we asked our producer how long these stories should be, she just told us, go wild.
And we definitely did.
Relays is finally over. The Peggy's tent has sadly been taken down, though the stench of spilled alcohol and sweat remains. The blue oval stands empty with all the races finished, and the field events are now over.
And because someone in administration thought moving relays later in April was a good idea, finals are only a week away.
So sit back, relax, and ignore the pit of dread in your stomach by seeing what athletes Isaac Bastion, Adam Fogg, and Coach Jay have to say about the 2022 Drake Relays.
I'd always known quite a lot about the history of Drake, and running in the NCAA is something I always kind of thought would be pretty cool to do. My coach now, Jay, he reached out to me on Instagram, actually slid into my DMs, and I did a bit of research and chatted to the coaches a little bit, and the head coach at the time was Mark Carroll, who's an Irish double Olympian, 350 miler, and I thought, going into an environment with someone like him, I could learn a lot, and kind of just like immerse myself in a school with a lot of history. Obviously Jay as well, he's now the head coach. Just both were great guys with a lot of coaching experience, and I thought that it would be a great fit.
I knew Drake had an awesome reputation years and years ago, and obviously great facility, hosted one of the best meets in the world, so I knew it could be good, and that potential was really what excited me and brought me to the meet.
I knew that it was really going to matter how you trained during the pandemic, because everybody was going to come back with more eligibility, because during COVID you didn't use eligibility, and people were going to come back hungry. And I think all the athletes are just hungry for wins, hungry to show off to the crowd, because we really haven't had that for such a long time. So it makes all the meets with big crowds like the Drake Relays that much more enjoyable, just to appreciate what you have.
I feel like we're all fairly intrinsically motivated. It's kind of you just have that drive and determination to be your best as a runner. And in Australia, I did have a group of people around me, an alright group to train with. Definitely not as good as what we have here at Drake. Very fortunate to have been able to come back. But yeah, I just stayed focused on knocking out good weeks of training, and stayed focused on kind of knowing that at some point races will be back, and at some point I'll get back to America.
I think the biggest obstacle we've had this year is just the long winter, and figuring out where and when we can do certain sessions and workouts that we want to do. Other than that, though, it's been a pretty seamless and easy time. This is territory that we navigated very well last year, and I think that the personalities on the team have shown through, and we know what we can do.
Overall, as a season, I had a little bit of trouble indoor with sickness. At some pretty unfortunate times, but that's the way it goes with running when you're kind of pushing yourself to your limits. But throughout the season, yeah, it's been a fairly smooth journey, just kind of trying to stay consistent and train pretty well every day. Just get good sleep, things like that, and it all kind of adds up and pays off.
We've been here before with NCAAs looming. We kind of know what to do. So in the last few days leading into relays, we'll take them nice and easy. But right now, we're still working pretty hard.
This will be the first year at relays where I'm elite. Like last year, I was in the relays and in the top section, but my goal was to run 3:43 like I did last year and just kind of finish with the group. And so this year, will be the first year where I think I'm good enough to be competing for a title and be competing with the big boys, so that'll be fun.
Me and Baston, we had a pretty solid season opener for the outdoor season last week in California. I think we both know that there's a little bit more in the tank, and we both want to be able to run a little bit quicker. So running quick, hopefully in the 1500 is the goal. I'd love to, as Baston said, be challenging for the win. I think we're both very capable of being right up there and challenging for that win. Hopefully it'll be just the two of us going 1-2 at the end of the race, if not winning, just at least being competitive and enjoying the experience of racing in front of the home crowd.
The U.S. trials mark in the 1500 is 3:37.0, and if I can break that, then I'll guarantee myself a spot at the U.S. trials. So that's always like the main goal, just to run that time, so that like I know I deserve to be there and that I can run against those top guys and potentially try to get a world championship spot. But really, it's just about finishing in the top of the pack.
I'm in my third year at Drake as well, and this is going to be my first proper relays experience. So, yeah, just racing on the home track in front of hopefully a decent crowd. My parents are over here as well, so yeah, really looking forward to it.
Relays next week. I want wins. That's something that we've won a lot of stuff since I started as the head coach. But one thing that's eluded us is a championship at Drake Relays, winning something. So, events like the women's steeple is on our docket, men's DMR, and with these two athletes around me winning the 1500, it would be awesome. We also have our sights set on really fast times, because it's just going to be an amazing opportunity.
Distance running honestly sounds like torture to me, but those two seem to enjoy it.
I think it probably helps when you're good at it.
At the other end of the spectrum of student life, this past Wednesday, SUB hosted a foam pit party.
That's like a ball pit, but with foam blocks, right?
Nope, it's actually soap foam that SUB poured onto people's heads for hours on end.
And then they just stood there? Like in the soap?
Yep.
We are GBS correspondents have the story on why a bunch of people apparently want soap all over their heads. Let's take a look. okay, I guess that looks kind of fun. But seriously, who comes up with these things? Who's the guy who looks at a club and thought, you know what this place needs? Soap. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I get it now.
Now, the Relays concert didn't have any foam this year, but it did have Bryce Vine, a rapper and singer whose best-known tracks include Drew Barrymore and La La Land. You went to the concert, Liz. How was it?
The concert was fun, but there was a lot of people.
That definitely sounds interesting. Let's check it out.
And now we have a real treat for you. One of SAV's Relays co-chairs is in the studio with us right now.
DBS's very own Zoe Zendowskis has a few questions for her about this year's Relays experience. Zoe?
Hey everyone that's tuning in today. I'm Zoe Zendowskis, and today I'm joined here with SAV Relays co-chair Ashley Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ashley.
Thanks for having me.
Putting together an entire week of student-related activities sure seems like a lot of work, and all for Relays, but it's really no joke. It's definitely not something that I could do, and it's all very impressive. So I'd like to ask what made you want to get involved as SAV's Relays co-chair in the first place?
Absolutely. So over the summer, I saw that SAB was looking for a Relays co-chair. It was something that sparked my interest because I really enjoyed Relays last year. So I applied and I interviewed and wasn't quite sure what I was getting myself into, but absolutely loved it.
What does it mean for you to be able to host something as large as the Relays?
It's been pretty incredible. It's been super rewarding and super difficult. I have loved seeing the community come together and bringing back Relays after 2 years of either COVID-impacted or canceled Relays.
What would you say has been the hardest part about this experience so far?
The most difficult part has definitely been staying flexible, whether it's weather or events not working out, COVID procedures coming in and out of play. That's really been the most difficult part to navigate with all of this.
And I'm sure it's also made it a lot easier being a part of a team of SAB who's helped alongside with you. Can you kind of describe what that environment has been like?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a great team of about 21 people, and we've all been bouncing ideas off of each other, working to support each other, whether it's volunteering for events or running to pick up paint last minute. It's really awesome to have a team of 21 people who all have your back and all want a successful set of events.
And what is the process of brainstorming those actual events and coming from brainstorming into actually making them real events that students get to experience? What's that like?
It's been a long process for sure. We started brainstorming in August, and so it's been a lot of throwing things against the wall, seeing what sticks, being flexible, using different ideas and incorporating different things from past Relays and how we want it to look in the future to make something successful.
And I'm just curious on whether Drake has been easy to work with and what the response has been to helping SAB create these events.
Yeah, on the administrative side, it's been awesome to have everybody on board to have a full-blown Relays as successful as possible. So even when weather wasn't working out and a paint fight had to potentially be canceled, Jerry Parker stepped in, was fully supportive, and helped us make that happen. And on an athletic side, the Drake Relays team, Blake Bolden and his staff are absolutely phenomenal. We really wanted to incorporate both student life and athletics into our events this year, and that was something we could make happen with him and his team.
That's amazing to hear. And as a sophomore, have never really experienced Relays.
after 2 years of Drake not having any really full-blown relays experience, what has it been like coming back to a more lively environment?
It's been difficult, but we knew from the outset that we really wanted to focus on community, and that's what Glow Together meant, was bringing people back together. And it's been awesome to have both staff and seniors and faculty all on board to help us, give us input, especially because I haven't experienced a full-blown relays, so planning something that I've never been to is definitely a challenge, but it was rewarding.
It was amazing to see everything that happened, but when you look back 5-10 years from now, what do you think you'll remember most about this Relays Week?
I think I'll remember most the aspect of community, having people come together, and also how I've grown as a person throughout planning these events and having them come to life. Seeing people come together for something I've been working on with my team, Anna George is my co-chair, has been incredible. I've never experienced anything like it.
Well, I'd really admire all the work that the entire Student Activities Board has put into making this week as successful of a comeback to Relays as it has been. And a big thank you for all you've done over the past months and semesters to be able to make Relays what it is. Do you have any last words you'd like to share with the audience watching?
Thank you, Zoe. I really appreciate that. I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for coming out and supporting, coming to events, being willing to put yourself out there for all of these exciting experiences. It's been an awesome week.
Well, thank you so much again for taking the time out of your day to join us today.
Thank you.
And now we're going to give it back to the floor, bring it back to Liz and Julia. So take it away, guys.
Thanks again, Ashley. It's really amazing how much your hard work went into making Relays awesome.
But while SAB was keeping the students entertained, there was another group of Bulldogs who needed their own special programming.
Yes, we're talking about the famous alumni tent. Alumni from around the world come back to campus to see their old friends, and they either relive their glory days or remember why they're thankful not to be in college anymore.
The Drake Relays are basically just like what homecoming is for other universities, only we do it with track and field instead of football because our football team doesn't really inspire alumni to come back here.
In any event, Paul and I went to the alumni tent to see just how the other side lived.
This is Paul Linville reporting live from the Relays Alumni Tent. We're gonna go catch up with some old classmates. Let's get going. What are you sipping on there today?
Have a White Claw, Black Cherry.
White Claw. What's a White Claw? We didn't have those back in my day.
This is a hard seltzer. If you are trying to cut down on calories, it is 100 calories per can.
I could use one of those.
Gluten-free, so it is a good option if you are gluten intolerant. But as the can reads, it is a, quote, like sparkling water with a hint of black cherry, unquote.
Clear beer. You heard it here first, folks. Thank you, Tanner.
Cheers, folks.
Paul Linville, graduating class of 1987. How are you today,
I'm
sir?
good. I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you attend Drake University yourself?
I did not.
You did not.
I didn't get here fast enough.
And why would you recommend that others attend Drake University in the future?
Because we are the best university in the country for integrating the liberal arts and sciences with professional preparation, one student at a time. The best education in the country.
He's media trained, folks. He's media trained. I'm doing well. It looks like you got a lot of cups here.
Absolutely. That's the whole point of Relays, is to collect as many cups as you can, right?
I guess so. Did you drink all of them, or are you just stealing them off tables?
Stealing them off tables. That's how you do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we caught her.
On the feast.
Ladies, can I interrupt? Indeed I have. Do we have husbands? Not here. We don't have them here. That's good for old Paul, class of 1987. Hello? What are you cooking here today?
We're cooking chicken, lamb, falafel.
What is falafel?
It's a vegetarian made with chickpeas.
I've heard of vegetarians. It's a plague across America. This is Drake University. This is Relays Week. Let's get crazy.
Speaking of alumni, multiple schools and colleges across campus held reunions this weekend.
The best one, of course, being the SJMC Centennial Plus 2 reunion, where they all came and celebrated 100 years of empowering voices and also gathered to give Dean Kathleen Richardson a roaring send-off before her retirement this June.
Magazine media professor Catherine Staub will take over as the new dean, and it got us here at GBS thinking, which one of them is the better dean?
We designed a competition to try and figure it out. Personally, my money's on Dean Richardson. Rumor has it that as a former copy editor, he can tear any article apart in less than 15 seconds.
I don't know, Liz. Professor Staub is one cool cat. Let's check out this competition that definitely tests their journalism skills.
On your mark, get set, go. Forget it. I should stop. I don't do the other thing, so. Oh. What is that?
Team Richardson all the way. I'm gonna go make t-shirts now.
While Liz goes and steals the screen printer from the Innovation Studio, I thought it was worth taking a look at the actual Drake Relays events. Did you know that there were actual things going on besides the Peggy stunt?
No way! You're telling me that Relays Week isn't just a week-long streak at Peggy's? Well, let's take a look at what Relays Week really has to offer.
This year, the University of Iowa men's team and the University of Kentucky women's team captured the Relays Cup. That means those teams won the most track events.
And Delilah Muhammad, the second fastest woman in the world in the 400-meter hurdles, set a new record here at the Drake Relays yesterday at 53.88 seconds.
We know this is news to all of you because instead of taking advantage of this rare opportunity to watch literal Olympians compete right in front of you, you went to the Peggy's tent instead, right?
There's just something about standing in a crowd of hundreds of sweaty people covered in beer. I also really appreciated the threat of death if anyone decided to start a stampede.
Of course, not everyone in the Peggy's tent should have been there, despite rigorous inspections and by Peggy staff and heavy security provided by the always on target Des Moines Police Department. A few lucky underage souls still managed to make it through.
DBS investigative correspondent Patty was at the scene to get to the bottom of this.
But because DBS has a strict no snitches policy, the names and faces of our interviewees have been redacted.
Hey y'all, it's Patty here, and tonight we're at the Peggy tent. Tonight we're here to see how people chose to celebrate their Relay Week. Hey everybody, welcome back. And right now I'm here with
Marcus. And Jeremy. I'm Scott.
I'm Nate.
You got those.
Maria. I'm Ellery. Sammy Coleman. Natalie Novak. I'm Savannah.
I'm Charles. Michael.
Julian. Hannah Fuller. Taylor McCauley. Who just came out of the Peggy tent. So how was it, girl? It was fun. Good music in there. Lots of good people. Lots of fun. Yeah, lots of fun talk. A lot of good memories being made this week. You know, it was good. It was pretty slow. I am a Peggy goer pretty consistently Monday through Saturday every week. No, it's not a problem. And it's a Monday night. You know, some people have class, which I do too at 10 a.m. But enough people came, and it's a good exciting first night. It's so fun. I love it. I love the music that they play. It's fun.
Really good. This is my first time here. And I'm a junior, so it's very odd. I had to go out because I am wearing a pen.
Welcome back. I'm here with. Just came out of Peggy tent. How was it?
Awesome.
A little chilly. I played my outfit. However, the vibes are there from freshman year, and that's what we were looking for. Yeah, big Monday night vibes. We're not quite there to Saturday night, but we're looking forward to it. Maybe for a drink and a sweatshirt. So now we have to go home to facilities. It was wild. It's a wild Monday. I was honestly really shocked to see this many people. And where do you think you're from?
12 seconds later.
Actually, 24.
Yeah, we are 21. I'm from Illinois.
It used to be Missouri, but
Mine used to be New Hampshire.
22 years old from Iowa, like actually. We are also 22. We are all those people from Ohio and stuff. Who's actually from Ohio? Shout out Indiana. Who's actually from Ohio? Tell me someone that goes to Drake that's from Ohio.
My fake ID says that I'm from Pakistan, so my real ID says that I'm from Italy. Well, I'm Russian, so I can't fake it. So you look at me and I'm like, hey, you're Russian. His last name is Smirnov. Yeah. That's my favorite part also.
Tell me your best gas move that you took function out of the Peggy tent.
2 very boring minutes later.
I missed it. Do it again. Let her out. That was Patty tasing.
Now let's turn to Olin Minders with a campus update from everyone's favorite drama llama, Yik Yak.
Thanks, Liz. Sounds like everyone really enjoyed themselves this weekend. But now it's time to take a look at what's being written on the internet's bathroom stall. First up, this Yik Yak is there a track meet this weekend? Which, kind of misses the mark. I don't know what rock you're living under, but show some school spirit. This next one, I forgot that I still technically have class this week. You know who didn't? Jerry Parker. And I really appreciated his email telling me that I needed to get all my homework done and make sure I was in class this week, which I wasn't. Rain was more on beat than I was. Now, this was probably about the Relays concert, which I have to say, most perfectly timed change of weather in history. Total glitch in the Matrix. Upvote for Slay? Hashtag Reslays. If you know, you know. This whole school is full of freaks and geeks, bro. Couldn't agree more, and you know what? I'd happily take either of those titles. Next up, Iowa people have the worst taste in everything, which, as an Iowan, I think this is objectively false. Like, the amount of drip that farmers have is unreal. They literally brought back coveralls. Next up, how are you mentally stable? Asking for a friend. Oh, there's a lot of comments on this. Maybe your friend will get some tips on how to, stay sharp. Nope. You really hate to see it. You know what? I think we really need to be a little bit more considerate of the sour side effects of a platform like this. Yik Yak was removed, originally from the App Store in 2017, after at least a dozen college campuses reported threats of mass violence. Since the relaunch, the University of Mary Washington has been sued by a campus feminist group, as well as individual students who were targets of derogatory comments or violent threats. Researchers found it to be contributive to a more hostile and toxic environment for students. However, other experts will point to its capabilities for giving administrators a better look into student life. Not like ours would do anything about it. The unfortunate reality is that Drake hasn't really had a great history with hateful messages coming to light. And while these issues are much bigger than an app, it's important to look at social media for more than news, jokes, and thirst traps. That's why I'm asking Marty Martin to grant me the title of first ever Surgeon General of Drake University. My first action as this title would be to attach a warning label, this warning label, to every Yik Yak posted in the Drake area. Let's use these communication tools for good, and make sure to post responsibly.
Thanks, Olin, for those campus updates that are all definitely true.
I think my favorite post was the rain starting as soon as Bryce walked off the stage.
I don't know, Liz. Upvote for Slay really spoke to me.
To wrap up our show tonight, we'd like to share some sports commentary from a real, actual, for sure sports expert who definitely knows what they're doing.
Just to reiterate, this will be someone who's definitely athletically inclined, giving their expert opinion on different sporting events.
Hi guys, my name is Alona. I'm here for GDS. I have no idea what's going on.
You know what, that makes it GDS content. GDS. What was it with the timer that you never use?
Okay guys, let's go. You look all super hot. Amazing outfits. Okay guys, they're not just running, they're also jumping. That is unbelievable. That is really unbelievable. Okay guys, look what I have found. A dirty towel. I wonder what they're using it for. Yeah, our cameraman is suggesting maybe they're like washing or cleaning the air. But I don't know. Now we have the women, and they're also running and jumping. And it's cold. They must be super cold because they have just underpants on. And guys, I have to pee. I really have to pee. It's urgent. It's urgent. But let's go. Okay, how much money would you pay me for touching it? I would do it for $10. $10. I'm gonna touch. They stopped the music. Okay, they're preparing for a new track race. It's another group of women, and they're gonna start soon, hopefully. They stopped. Oh my God! I was so scared. Oh my God! I'm so sorry. So unprofessional. Okay. Like the only bad thing I have noticed, like the official announcer it's a little bit boring, guys. Next time you should hire me, and I would do it like for less money for sure. You're welcome. Just text me or call me. Elona, say something.
Coming into the final
Woo! They're running again, and it's getting late, and I have other plans. I want to go to Peggy's. There's Mark Knight. Guys, when can I leave? Can I leave now? Is that a no? And they're still running, guys. They're still running and jumping. And at the same time. Okay, guys. That was me. I don't know if you have noticed it, but this was like my first official commentary of a track event. I don't think it was super obvious, but I just wanted to be honest and tell you. And yeah, it was super fun. They gave me this vest. I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna keep it. I love yellow. And yeah, back to the studio.
Well, folks, this concludes our third. Wait, hang on a second. We're getting word from our producer that there's been some kind of advisory warning that was just now issued.
Time to break out those emergency breaking news graphics. I thought we never get to use those.
Bulldog alarm. A satire advisory warning has been declared in the following counties. Polk. This advisory will remain in effect until Marty Martin resigns.
We are gathered here today to mourn the loss of Earl F. Martin III's respect. We've invited some of the people who know him best to share their favorite things about President Martin. And we've decided to format this in the way we know he would have appreciated the most, a roast. Today we welcome friends and family of Marty Martin to the podium, starting with his son, Earl F. File Martin IV. Hi, I'm Earl F. File Martin, and today I would like to start off by saying that this isn't a joke, but Marty Martin's MLK Day email starts with 2 paragraphs about his own biography and doesn't mention Martin Luther King until the 4th paragraph. Now, this seems like something only a horrible, terrible narcissist would do. But it's okay, because my dad is a lawyer. And so is his dad. And his dad. And his dad. President Martin is a 4th-generation lawyer. And if you forget that, don't worry. He will remind you. He actually misses his law career so much that he named his sons Case and File. Only one of those is an actual fucking lie. Marty Martin's favorite movie is Legally Blonde, which is also where he received all of his law training, and because he never washes within 24 hours of getting a perm. My dad is a really big movie guy. Marty actually changed his name from Earl to Marty after watching the 3rd Madagascar movie and personally relating to the zebra, because he too is a clown in a fucking circus. No, but I do have to give him some credit. Marty takes his job very seriously. He even buys all of his own crayons for signing papers. Speaking from my own experience, Duke University is a great place to go if you're someone with daddy issues. You will never get homesick. Just like your own emotionally distant father, Marty is never around when you need him, and he's only there to criticize you. But in all seriousness, Marty is a great father. He takes me golfing all the time. I mean, I just wish sometimes he'd let me play and stop calling you caddy boy. But anyways, my dad, he loves golf so much because he's a firm believer in the philosophy that smaller is better and bigger is worse. So my father's respect will be deeply missed, probably, maybe, by someone, but it won't be by me. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle, for those truly touching words about our beloved President Martin. And now I'd like to invite to the podium a man who allegedly saw Marty Martin in a Hy-Vee once to share his thoughts. Carl Ayers.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here today to honor this man's lost life and respect, but mostly respect. And let's be sympathetic here, because it's not all easy for President Martin. His golf game has really suffered from the carpal tunnel he's developed writing his emails, and that's something to mourn. And let's be grateful that we've even got a space to record this here today, because Marty's got to film his videos on the golf course vertically, like his live reaction to the Derek Chauvin verdict. Maybe if he ever came in from the golf course, one of his minimum wage kids in Old Main can show him you can rotate the phone by 90 degrees. You know, I really wish that Hillary Clinton had won the 2016 election. I do. But mostly so Marty would have the example of a president who knows how to delete their emails. And on that note, Rachel Berkey has announced a new digital proficiency initiative as part of the ONE campaign. And that's important for Marty Martin as someone who hits reply all on campus-wide emails to personally rate professors. But it's not just emails. Marty is an avid reader. His favorite book is Terms and Conditions. He loves the character development and rich depiction of human connection that he's missing in his day-to-day life. Although he did fly to Saudi Arabia recently to get a taste of their legendary sandcraft. But he ended up bonding with Prince Mohammed bin Salman over their mutual feelings for journalists and each other. But Marty can empathize with low-paid professors. Almost no one in the top 1% is paid less than he is. But it's okay, though. It's okay because the Board of Trustees has announced it will raise Marty's salary by $100,000 a year if he will just, for the love of God, stop coming to campus events. So I can say from the bottom of my heart, I hope to never see him that one again. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl, for sharing that. I know we all wish that people were paid more money at Drake University. And now, finally, in our grief, we turn to Max Brown, a close personal correspondent of Marty Martin.
Thank you all for having me here today to say a few words on behalf of the late respect of our esteemed president, Marty Martin. It's a little funny. Going into this, we thought he might not approve of the way we've chosen to represent the loss of respect, but then we realized something. He hasn't come to campus, 2 times this semester, so in all likelihood, he's not going to know this is happening. I mean, he hasn't even shown up to any of the anti-racism initiatives we've had. We've had many, so it's not like he's had a lack of chances. I mean, he was thinking really hard about attending one of the more recent ones, but he ran into a fairly compelling schedule conflict. There was a game he really wanted to watch, and his DVR was just so full of old Riverdale episodes he needed to catch up on that. So see his dilemma. He doesn't want to give up Riverdale, doesn't want to give up the game, and I can respect that, kind of. But I mean, I can't say that he's done nothing about racism on campus. So if you think about it, what do racism, the invasion of Ukraine, and school shootings have in common? It beats me. They just seem so dissonant in just basically everything. But Marty saw a thread there between them, and by God, did you write an email about it? I could highlight one of his recent achievements. The mission statement for the ONEs, our campaign for the brave and the bold, was recently updated to include pursuing excellence as one of our stated goals, which I think Marty's realizing, he's milked for this much money out of the alums to probably come up with something they're going to use it for, even if it still doesn't feel concrete in any way at all. But it's an improvement over the original initiative of the ONEs campaign, which was just simply a representation of how many people on campus respect him. But anyway, yeah, it's funny really, because if you look at like Marty's golf scores and his approval ratings from basically everyone, like alumni, staff, students, if you just like flip-flop the two, both of them would get so much better. Anyway, I've been ragging on President Martin pretty hard these last few minutes, so I'll just close by highlighting a personal achievement of his. So the transition to COVID and online learning was rough on all of us, so least of all the administration. And you know, in between this busy schedule of completely and utterly bungling our transition to online, President Martin found set aside some time to escalate a dispute he had with a student journalist. Said, like literally 15 minutes after said student journalist had just carried his grandmother's casket to the cemetery, which I really can't think of a better anecdote of just highlighting his leadership and character to leave off on when we're honoring the loss of his respect. So thank you for having me.
I really hope that Marty doesn't get mad at us for this. We did label it satire in the opener because it doesn't take us 4 paragraphs to get to the fucking point. Thank you all for coming. This concludes our first weekly roast with Marty Martin. And don't worry, you'll see us again soon.
Just a final reminder to Marty Martin, before we all get put on double secret probation, that all of that was satire, and he does need to learn to take a joke. Or 30 jokes.
Alright, for real this time. This concludes our third and final 2022 Relays Live show. Whether you're an athlete, a basket case, a princess, or a criminal, DVS has the Relays coverage you need.
Not the brains, though. You guys can go pick up a Times Delphic or something. If you're Natalie's mom and you liked any of our shows, follow us on Facebook at Drake Broadcasting System. Everyone else can follow us on Instagram at DrakeDVS. Tell us what was your favorite segment and what you'd like to see more of.
Tune in again next year to see our 2023 Relays Live coverage, provided that some other once-in-a-generation disaster doesn't strike and ruin all our plans.
Marty Martin is a 4th-generation lawyer.
Remember to study for all those finals that you've been procrastinating. If you're feeling stressed, and try booking an appointment with the counseling center. And maybe, just maybe, they'll get you in. Sometime in August.
Thank you for watching.
Good night and good luck. We're out. That.